I'm Michael Shara, curator of astrophysics at the American Museum of Natural History and curator of this exhibition, Beyond Planet Earth. And the last part of the exhibition deals with exoplanets, planets orbiting stars other than the Sun. Up until the late 1990s, we didn't know for sure that such things really existed. Astronomers had strong hints, they had a clue, and there were theories that suggested that planets formed as the byproduct of the formation of stars, but we didn't know for sure. And then in the late 1990s, we began to have instruments in place that could measure the slight shift back and forth, radial velocity motions of stars, which indicated that they were being orbited by planets. And that was the first really strong hint we had that exoplanets existed. By the mid-2005, 2006, 2007 timeframe, NASA and many astronomers decided to build a small space telescope to directly measure the presence of planets in another very sophisticated way, and that was to look at occultations. When a planet passes right in front of a star, it makes the star a tiny bit fainter. When the Earth passes in front of the Sun, it makes the Sun about 1 part in 10,000 fainter, because that's the surface area of the Earth relative to the surface area of the Sun. Well, how do you go and measure such precision? From the surface of Earth, you can only measure to about 1 part in 100 or 1 part in 200. By putting a telescope in space, as NASA did, the Kepler mission, we were able to do that. And so what you see here is a representation of the 2000 first exoplanets, planets orbiting other stars that were discovered by the Kepler space mission. Now, I can actually reach my hand in and touch these stars because the stars are really represented by a hologram. This is the largest hologram that's ever been built by anyone, anywhere, the largest one in the world. And it scientifically represents, in the configuration of the 2000 stars here, where those exoplanets are in the field of view of the Kepler satellite. Kepler has not just one chip, not just one charge-coupled device, not just one camera, but multiple cameras, and each one of the squares that you see here is actually one of the CCDs, one of the cameras of the Kepler satellite. Why is this important? Well, astronomers finally know of not just a few, not just a handful, but now more than 2,000 exoplanets, and so we can begin to do comparative planetology. What we find from the Kepler mission and from the other searches for exoplanets are that some exoplanets are like Jupiter, or even bigger than Jupiter, and closer into their host star than Mercury is into the Sun. These are astonishingly hot planets. They're actually being evaporated by their host star. We find in other cases worlds with 3, 4, 5, 6 exoplanets, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets orbiting their host star. All of these things have been determined, been found by Kepler, and that's what the hologram shows. So you alternate in view between the 2000 stars, which I can reach through, and also, it'll come back in just a few seconds, the exoplanets, which are orbiting different stars. Is this a remarkable finding? I would say it's one of the most amazing findings in all of astronomy, in all of astrophysics, over the past 25 years. We now know that we're not alone, that there are not just 100 billion stars in our Milky Way galaxy, but possibly as many as 1 trillion planets. And you can think of our Milky Way galaxy as a factory for making these kinds of exoplanets. A few centuries from now, 3, 4, 5 centuries from now, when we have the technology to journey out first to the first and nearest star, and then the next and the next and the next, we're going to be different from Christopher Columbus and Magellan and the other intrepid explorers of the late 14 and early 1500s. They had no map. They didn't really know where they were going. Astronomers will have provided a map, not just telling us where the exoplanets are, but by that time we'll know their geography, their geology, and hopefully we'll have the technologies also to transform some of these planets into worlds like the Earth. That's the meaning of this hologram. Thanks very much.